Hello, everybody, and welcome to week 29's week in review. Here on my channel, just going over what I drew this week. We'll start by just looking over my figures. I briefly looked at them before I started here, and I really don't think I have anything to say, so we could just kind of admire them. Some of these turned out pretty good, hey? Just looking at this now, I think I might be doing my legs too big in general, like the thighs. Because like this one, these legs are kind of smaller and it looks a little better. Same with this one. I don't think I need to be doing my thighs so giant. That might be why I have trouble with like the crossed legs thing, because my legs are too big. So it's like, you know, last week I was talking about, or was it last week? Maybe it was not. Maybe it was earlier this week. I realized how much crossed legs really give me trouble. I'm trying to find an example here, like this thing, this sort of thing, you know? I think it might be because my legs are too fat, you know, around here. I'm not really giving enough space in between the legs, you know? Like I usually have them almost touching each other underneath, you know, like this. There's not enough space below. Like this is better, right? Where you can see, there should be like maybe, I don't know how much space in between, right? But I think that might be one of the reasons why crossed legs give me so much trouble, because usually when I do them, it just feels like I don't have enough room to draw enough leg. And I think that might be just because I'm doing them too big. I don't know. Just a quick thought. I like this one. It's kind of, yeah, look at how big these legs are, right? Don't they feel a little big? I don't know. A lot of these are pretty good though, as usual. I'm pretty happy with how my figures are coming out each day. This one was fun. Like rappelling down a building or something, you know? Yeah, I still don't really know how to do like gesture or like, I don't know, lines of motion, all that stuff. I don't find that stuff very entertaining. You know, I find it really boring trying to draw like that. I really like the methodical, constructive way of doing things. Getting the angles correct and the proportions. It's not easy though. I still need a lot more practice, I think. But this one's pretty good. Like if you give me enough time, this was the pose of the day. I usually take about 10 minutes on them, I think. If you give me like 10 minutes, I can, even like this one, I think was a 5-minute, right? Actually, a lot of these turned out pretty good. But I think with time and luck, I can do a pretty good job. Anyway, like I said, there's nothing really in particular to talk about with these figures. So let's move on to the other stuff I did this week. Well, this is actually, it's not only this week, because this one is, what is the 22nd? Tuesday of the previous week. So I was working on this one for a long time. This is some fan art, some Hololive fan art of Nerissa Ravencroft here. This is day 1. I just included the stuff from the previous week as well for continuity. The big jump is when I, basically from day 1 to 2, hey. I fixed a lot of things. Namely the head. I think the issue I had with this head was that it was too far forward. You know, the neck is like way too far back. And then I kind of pushed everything this way and it really fixed the figure for me. And then from then on, it was just, you know, touching things up a little bit at a time. I really took my time with this one. When does the week begin here? The week begins on the 29th. So this is still all the previous week until this one. This was Tuesday of this week. So all that stuff before was previous. But you could see I really spent a long time on this. Each one of this is like 3 hours maybe more. And then getting into the shadows here, just starting them. I haven't done like the hair This one was a lot of fun. I wish I paid attention more, or maybe like took some notes about the whole process as I was going along, because I don't really remember what I was thinking, or like, you know, what was going through my head as I was doing this one. But this is the final version here. I've been messing with like effects more, like particularly overlay. I don't really know how it works, but I think that's a nice way to kind of finish a drawing, is to use like overlay and multiply and stuff like that, and like glow. I don't know how any of them work. I'm just kind of messing around and playing with them, but it's you know, just like this slight bit of gradation from like the color of the hair, you know, I think is like that sort of thing really does a lot. Just like slight little bits of changes in the color, you know, like as you move along, and like this sort of thing, you know, a bit of like kind of a reddish brownish glow here that's like fading down this way. I really like that look. I want to get better at that sort of thing. It's hard to not overdo it though. I find I usually overdo it. I'm still new to this sort of thing, so. And then I also put this through like a VHS effect thing, and I don't know, it looks kind of cool like this too. Just messing around, just playing with the effects. I love the chromatic aberration. It's so cool, but it's like, the problem with that is that it doesn't really, I don't know how to make it so it's focused, because I would want the face not blurry, you know? I don't know. That's another thing to play around with, I think. This is the final version though, I would say. I'm pretty happy with it. This is, I think, the thing I put the most time into. I think maybe the Zelda one that I did a long time ago, I put equal or maybe more time into. I can't really remember, but I'm pretty happy with this one. So yeah, I learned a lot about, if I go back to maybe like, yeah, like there's not a lot of change between these 2 days, because really all I did was the line art. So this is still my pencil brush here, and then the next day I go over and do the line art. I think that's the biggest thing I learned about this one, is really getting ready to do the line art. Like, I spent 3 days. Usually I'll do like 1 or maybe 2 days before I get into the line art, just cleaning things up. And like usually I'll do the line art at this phase, right? And that's not a good idea, because look how messy this is, right? So I took another day to clean it up and like try and fit a lot of these details in, you know, that as much as I could at least. And not everything is like this hair back here I wasn't sure of. I ended up changing it, I believe, and like I forgot this feather thing down here, but I did most of it. So then the next day it made the line art phase a lot smoother. I think I'm approaching line art differently than I would like to. Up until this point, at least, I should be treating it as something that, you know, there shouldn't be anything creative on the line art process, I think. Or not necessarily nothing creative, but like less. It should just be going over lines that are already there. I think that's how I want to do it. And I haven't been doing that up until this one, basically. But because I really cleaned it up, you know, it's just, it looks more clean, just in general, like more finished, more proper. And I think that's because I actually gave myself time to figure out what I was doing, sort of thing, before I even started with the line art. So it's a lot less messy than my stuff usually is. So yeah, I don't really know what else to say. Aside from that, let's look at this one again. I really like this. It's just some random VHS auto action thing that I got off the Clip Studio asset store. It's really cool. I like throwing it on my finished drawings just to see what it looks like, you know. I really like how this looks. Isn't that cool? I don't know, it's a little blurry. Hard to focus on, but I think it's kind of cool. Anyway, that's that. Next, I did some more fan art. This was a big week, I guess, eh? This is some Princess Mononoke stuff that I did for this week's prompt, which the word was wild. And the first thing that came to my mind, for some reason, was Princess Mononoke here. I haven't watched the movie in a long time, but this was day one. I did this over 3 days, about 2 hours each day, which is pretty good. That's kind of the pace I want to be going at, because kind of after 2.5, 3 hours, I start to feel my brain power waning. So this was the rough sketch, kind of the general idea. And then the next day, I cleaned up a few things here and there, made a few minor adjustments, and then did the line art and the base color. I don't really know about the pose. It's kind of confusing to me. I don't know if she's sitting back here or if she's leaning on, you know, like the weight doesn't feel correct to me. Like it feels like she would have to be sitting, and I don't know if that really, I don't know if I like that, but it's fine. Like it doesn't really matter. Yeah, and then that was day 2. Again, this was like two hours. And then day 3 here, I got rid of this tree on the side. I thought it was a little too oppressive. Like it was, because everything, basically the idea of this, if I go back to this one, the idea is everything is kind of coming down this way, you know? Like, I tried to have like all these rocks pointing this way, you know, her leg going this way too, and like the gaze, the dogs, like everything's kind of going this way, and then having this tree here just kind of killed a lot of that. I thought, I noticed it on this day after I colored it. I was like, okay, well, it's kind of oppressive, you know, here. So I took it out, and I don't know, it's fine. I think it's fine for just like a quick rough sketch. I had a lot of fun with the shadows. Putting like the shadow line with this bright orange along the skin looks cool, and like the blue with the dogs. I don't know if I picked the right color for the dogs, but the wolves. Either way, I think it's cool. Doing the sky was really fun too. All in all, this one was pretty like chill, I guess. I wasn't really stressed out or like stressed for time or anything with this one. I was just kind of doodling, and the whole thing was a really fun process. So yeah, I think it turned out fine. Pretty cool. So there you go. That's my my weekend review. And yeah, I'll be back next week with some more, I guess. Hey, thanks for watching, and I'll see you then. Hey, cut.